Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the June 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Cancer. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. With that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at just general what's coming for June. We're going to take a look at money, love, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing crystal, and a healing note for you. But let's go ahead and see. So again, column number 1 being what's wrapping up and coming to a close for you. We have a summary card of moderation. I like seeing the moderation card anywhere in my readings. Moderation is a key to success, in my opinion. That's a good indicator of work-life balance and love balance and financial balance. So overall, things appear to be well balanced for you, Cancer, but let's see where this takes us. Let's see what messages we have here. The first card we have coming through is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card that's always favorable for you. It is a card of clarity, and oftentimes it's about making a decision that takes you closer to your life's purpose. So I would say in the last few weeks or month, you've gotten more clarity on something, and it's, again, putting you on that path to live the purpose of your life, which is wonderful. The next card that we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of waiting for results. I do feel like some of you were waiting on something the last few weeks. I don't think that you're still waiting, but you very well could have been. This is just an indicator that there was some waiting. Also, the Two of Wands is travel plans, so you could have made some arrangements to travel these last few weeks. Then at the bottom, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is an interesting card. It's a card of gossip, spies, prying eyes. It's not drama, water cooler talk. When I tell people, or when I see this card, I often tell people to stay away from the water cooler talk and the drama, the gossip. But likely there's some sort of truth that you're not seeing, or truth coming out related to this card. But again, a card of gossip, so that could have come into play for you as well. Now let's go ahead and clarify this column and see what other messages we have here. The first card that we have is the Empress card. The Empress card is another really wonderful card. It's a card of creation and abundance. I wish that for everybody, that they have the ability to create and have that abundance that they're seeking. Again, with the Judgment card, that's that clarity and getting you on your life's path. But once you're on your life's path and you're clear on it, things like creation and abundance come much easier for you. So not surprised to see these two cards pair together, needless to say. With the Empress card, this is also a card of pregnancy and fertility. So some of you could have been finding out that you are pregnant, or you could already be pregnant. Sometimes this comes in the form of grandchildren too. I know some people are like, oh, I can't get pregnant. Well, this could be children around you as well. The next card we have is the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime you have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. Specifically, the Ace of Pentacles is new job, raise, promotion, investment, some sort of new income. The travel plans you made could have been related to work, but you also, when you talk about waiting, you could have been waiting to find out about a job or promotion. But that waiting does feel related to this new opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles there. Then we have the Page of Swords on top of each other. For those of you who watched my readings before, you know I love when this happens. It's like the universe saying, I said what I meant. But in this case, there definitely was some sort of gossip or drama or that kind of water cooler talk. Something curious, somebody trying to find out truth, somebody speaking lies. So definitely gossip is kind of the acknowledgement there. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is a message, or excuse me, which is just kind of a general look at the month of June. We have the card Core. I really like the Core card. It has a couple different meanings, but if you focus in here, the heart is kind of like the main kind of picture in this card. And for me, the core is about doing things that make you feel good. It's making choices. It's doing actions based on your core, feeling aligned with your core. So do as you move through the month of June, make sure that you're doing things that make you feel good, Cancer. Okay, the first card that we have coming through here is the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, courage. It makes total sense with that core card we were just talking about. Do things that feel good for you. That shows your self-love, that shows your self-respect. Makes total sense. Of course, we'll clarify to see what's coming through there, but this is about self-love and unconditional love and self-respect. And the way that you can accomplish that is by doing things that make you feel good. The next card that we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is the card of Prince or Princess Charming. It's really that knight in shining armor type energy. It's a card of romance and proposals. So there definitely could be a new relationship for some of you, but this could just be like a romantic time in your current relationship as well. So do really enjoy each other, enjoy each other's company. Again, a very romantic love type card. For those of you thinking outside of love and relationships, this could also be a good indicator of a business proposal too. It's not always a love proposal. Some of you could be getting married and engaged to this month with that Knight of Cups card. Then at the bottom we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. You could be reflecting on something. This is also a card of like gifts and reunions. You see this person is handing the other person a cup with a flower in it. These two people though could also be getting reunited. So lots of meanings behind the Six of Cups. We'll clarify and see what seems to make sense here. The first clarifying card we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. It's a card of being very persistent. So when you think about the Strength card, again, that's that card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect. Again, another way that you can provide yourself with those things is by setting boundaries, knowing when to say no. The Nine of Wands is about like filtering things, only taking on things that are good for you, and keeping out those things that are not good for you. The next card that we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active, new project or creative idea. So definitely some newness going on here for some of you. Again, this could be a new relationship on the horizon or a new business proposal. I will say for new relationship or business proposal, do make sure that you're being very creative. Wands are all about creativity, so just keep that in mind. Then at the bottom we have the Justice card. The Justice card, similar to the Judgment card, is a card that's always favorable for you, Cancer. With the Justice card, this is cause and effect. It's win-win solutions. It could also be truth coming out. This is a good card for legal contract type things as well. So if you are in court for anything or you're waiting for a contract to be signed or some sort of legal document, this is a good card for you. It's on top of that Six of Cups, which is kind of a gift. So you could have worked hard for something and now you're just now reaping the benefits from it. Again, that cause and effect type energy. Or if for those of you that do have a reunion, this seems to be very beneficial to you. Again, I just see you benefiting some way from this Justice card. Now in our next column, we're going to take a look at anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, anything money. The first card that we have is the Nine of Wands. You do have side-by-side Nine of Wands cards here, Cancer. The Nine of Wands, again, being that keeping and maintaining boundaries. It can also be a card of persistence. If you look at this card, this person didn't create a wall around themselves, but they kind of created a fence. And again, that's that filtering in good things, leaving out the bad things. So do make sure that you have good boundaries as it relates to spending money, or even at work, knowing when to say no. If you have too much on your plate, be honest as that comes through. The message, though, also persistence. So whatever you're working on at work, you do need to continue to push forward there. The next card that we have is the Temperance card. Temperance is a card of balance, harmony, patience. It is also a card of moderation. So we have moderation coming through a couple times for you in this reading. Some of you could have come off a really busy period, or the opposite, maybe it was a very slow period. But it does seem to be some balance for both your work and finance. Maybe you just went through a big spending period too, like you bought a new house or a new car, or you paid off a student loan or something like that. But the balance and harmony does seem to be returning to work and or money for you. At the bottom here we have the Tower card. The Tower card is kind of a tower moment, which is an unwanted change, something not going the way you had planned it to. The nice thing with the Tower card is it does happen for a reason. It's something that needs to happen, that was meant to happen. It just doesn't play out the way you wanted it to. Maybe you were hoping to be assigned to Project A and you got assigned to Project B. Well, in the long term, Project B had a lot more visibility to people and you get promoted because of it. So just know that there's something related to job or money that's not going to probably work out the way you planned in June, but just know it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out for you, Cancer. Clarifying this column, our first clarifying card we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of delayed success or waiting. If you look at this card, this person planted their pentacles and now they're waiting for them to grow. I do feel like some of you have been waiting for the opportunity where you can say no, or I need help. Or some of you, though, on the other side are tired of waiting, and hence why that message is coming through with the Nine of Wands, that you need to stay persistent. So I do feel like some of you are burnt out. You're over the waiting period. But the Nine of Wands is again telling you to remain persistent. The next card that we have is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of kind of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. If you see these 8 cups stacked here at the bottom, they're stacked pretty nicely. They look good, but yet this person is still moving away from them regardless. So there could be definitely some transition. Maybe you are switching jobs or switching companies even, or maybe you're switching up your investments if you're a big investor. There seems to be some sort of change in what you're doing, but you're moving on for something better, which is good. That's on top of that balance and harmony card, which we want that for everyone. We want that balance and harmony as it relates to both money and work. At the bottom here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. So as it comes to the Tower card, so we have persistence, we have patience, hardworking, continuing to push forward is that echoing message coming through. Wherever this Tower takes you, you just need to keep working hard and focusing on what you want. Again, that Tower moment likely being something that didn't play out the way exactly you hoped it would. The Knight of Pentacles is saying stay reliable, stay focused, keep pushing forward there. Again, that Tower is going to take you to a good place too. It just doesn't always feel as good in the moment. Now we're going to take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationships, children, anything that you associate with love, Cancer. The first card that we have is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident and very self-assured. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you do need to be very confident in the things that you're doing, and also being assuring yourself along the way. With that Queen of Wands, I feel like you could be seeking assurance from somebody else and not getting it. So there is a time possibly in June where you may need to be reassuring yourself, Cancer. The next card that we have is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of relationships, celebration, circle of support. Typically this is like outside of a love interest, but this is a good circle of friend support. It could also be family. But you're well supported. This is a good card to have in the love and relationships column. Then at the bottom here we have the Empress. The Empress is a good card to have no matter where we have it in our readings. The Empress is a card of creation and abundance. We had the Empress earlier too. So I feel like for those of you that are in a relationship, this is saying you can create whatever you want. You can have whatever you want in love. For those of you that are single, this is saying the same thing. You can have whatever you want when it comes to love. This is also a great card of fertility and pregnancy for those of you hoping to expand your family. This could be a good indicator for you as well, Cancer. But let's see what else we've got going on here. We've had some strong love cards sprinkled throughout, it seems like, this go around. We have repeat Three of Cups. We were just talking about the Three of Cups. This is that card of friendship, celebration, circle of support. I can't say it enough. It just seems like you have a really good group of people around you, whether these friends or family. Again, it doesn't feel like your love interest, but you're well supported all around you this month. That's on top of that Queen of Wands, which can be the card of self-assurance. But I feel like some of you need to like be confident that you have this circle. Some of you maybe feel like you don't have good friends, but in reality you do. So just keep that in mind, surrounding yourself by great people. The next card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. This too is a card of fertility. So for those of you that are hoping to get pregnant, several great indicators here. But on being resourceful, do make sure that you leverage the circle of support, the circle of friendship that's around you as needed, because we have two cards saying that you have such a great circle here. Then at the bottom we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of expansion. So again, going back, if you would like to expand your family, great time of fertility for you, Cancer. The Three of Wands can also be travel. So I do think some of you will be traveling with friends, traveling to visit family, or just taking a vacation with your loved one. I do see some travel coming in June for many of you. Now, last but not least, we're going to take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message for our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Ready But Waiting. It seems like there's something that you want to be happening right now, and maybe it's not moving as quickly as we thought it would. We did have some waiting earlier on as well. Let's see what messages we have coming through here. The first card we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having lots and lots of burdens. If you look at this person, they're carrying all these wands and they're like hunched over, crying into them. So do make sure that you're not stressed, exhausted, burned out. That card is typically an indicator that you're very tired, you're overwhelmed. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, trusting your gut. So do be listening to your body, what your body's telling you that it wants and needs. The next card we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an Ace card, this is a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Swords, this is typically a new idea or some sort of new clarity. We've had a few new clarity cards coming through for you as well, Cancer. But let's see what we've got here. The first clarifying card we have is the Seven of Cups. Not surprised to see this. The Seven of Cups is having lots and lots of different things going on. So if you look at the Seven of Cups, there's something different each of these cups. It makes sense why you're stressed and why you're exhausted. You're juggling all of these different things happening. The next card we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is very traditional, conventional. It's about expectations and conformity. And what I'm getting is that you need more rigor. You need a better schedule or more strict schedule where you're going to bed at a certain time or you're working out at a certain time. The message coming through here is to be creating a schedule for yourself, Cancer. Then at the bottom, we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles has a lot of different meanings, but the meaning that's coming through here is worry. And the nice thing is with this Ace of Swords, whatever you are worried about at this moment, Cancer, is going to be clearing. You're going to be getting new clarity where you can put this worry to bed, but this is kind of an acknowledgement that there is worry, but there's resolution coming, which is good to see. At this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, Cancer, you can think of them. Pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the King of Diamonds. That's the number 15 card. That's a yes. Question number 2 is the Queen of Spades. This is the number 42 card. That's a yes as well. And question number 3 is the 6 of Diamonds. This is the number 51 card. That is going to be a no. So yes, yes, no for you, Cancer. We're going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to carry with you through the month of May. Your crystal, or excuse me, the month of June. We're in June, not May. Your crystal for the month of June is calcite, which is good for courage, growth, helps you get out of kind of this lethargic state. It gives you drive. It gives you new ideas. Keep that with you in your pocket, on your nightstand, on your desk at work, Cancer. And last but not least, we're going to do a healing note. Your healing note says, when you can't remember why you are hurt, that is when you are healed. Thank you so much, Cancer, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me greatly as well, and you'll be notified when I post new videos. If you feel inclined, you did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Cancer, and have a wonderful June.